Alright, the first thing we're going to be doing, the teeth have been set up. We're going to go to the Articulator module. We're going to name the upper and the lower teeth in model. Then I'm going to click the Auto Set Up the condyles and animation. And as we know, this has then been animated and we can see everything shifts with it in occlusion. Mind you, we need to set this occlusion. So I'm going to go to the constraints and we don't have to change the centric because it is eccentric already. So I'm going to change the protrusive. We're going to slide that forward a bit or backwards, maybe back a little bit like this. And I'm going to open the bite just a little bit on the rotation, something like this. Then we're going to apply a keyframe and we're going to then set the right shift. And I'm going to open up the articulator a little bit and we're going to shift the jaw to the other side, something like that, because the upper teeth are going to be my cutting tool. Okay, and then we're going to apply that and we're going to go to the other side and I'm going to shift the jaw a little bit across and we're going to open it up just a little bit. Something to that effect. And then we're going to apply that. And then we're going to engage in the cutting. So this one, the upper model is going to be my object making the cut. So this is going to make a transparent gray cutting object. At the moment, it's offset at 0.1. We're going to apply that. Then we're going to choose our lower teeth. And this is our object being cut. Now they will all separate with the name object being cut, and then what we're going to do is we're going to engage in the cutting procedure, cut all movements. So please be patient. It's got to do 8 cuts all in all plus the model, but the model isn't really going to get cut because it's out of the path of the cutting tool. As we can see, they've all been trimmed. We could probably smooth them down a little bit. Let's just have a look and see what it looks like. I'm going to play the animation just to analyze and see. Here we can see how it has been cut here. It's perfect. Let's have a look at the other side, to the left-hand side, the right-hand side. It's looking good, and the protrusive. So now that this is done, we can delete the articulator. So I'll stop the animation, put it back into centric, and we're going to delete that. So go up to this here, delete condyles and animation, and delete animation. So, and also we want to delete the object that's making the cut. Now we've got teeth that have been trimmed like that. Okay. The next thing, we can smooth them later as well. Next thing I want to do is I want to remesh these because these are looking like this, the tooth mesh. So we're going to select them all. We're going to go to the Wax Up module. And in the Wax Up module, we've got to Tooth Geometry and we're going to click here, Resolution 4, that's fine. It's going to give us a preview of what this mesh is going to look like and we're going to click on Apply. Now we can see how far they are away from our tooth preps and we're going to deal with that in a few minutes. Where do I want the tissue? This one, this one, this one, and this one. This is what I'm going to be doing. In the Wax Up module, go to the Gum section. Gum. There, what we're going to do is we're going to cut this. So we're going to go to Lasso to delete apex and cut this apex off. Like this, cut. I'm going to go to the next one. We can maybe do 2 in one go. And finally this one. Then you need to select them, look at it from the top, and we want to extrude it. So we don't want to extrude it like that. We want to try and extrude it into the model if we can. Click on Create Gum. So here we go. We've got our gum created. It's not exactly to what I want. This is why we're going to edit this gum. Select it and then sculpt. Right click to set the radius and make it a bit smoother everywhere. Like that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to exit and go into edit mode. Here I'm going to make sure the magnet tool is off and I'm going to pull this gum upwards with my proportional editing tool. Something like that. Let's do this one here as well, into approximately, and this one like that. Just manipulating it where you want this gum to be. Following that, we're going to go into object mode and we'll just give it a quick another smooth down. Now you can spend a lot of time on this or you don't have to spend that much time on it, so that depends on you. I'm going to go out of exit mode and I'm going to pull this gum towards me. So I'm going to go edit mode again and I'm going to left click and use the G key to pull it to my stump. Something like that. Okay. And this will make sense very soon why I'm doing it. That's looking good. And then object mode, and then that's good. Just give it one more smooth. Here I may want to add a little bit, use a T key, go to the blob and bring it out a little bit like that. And I can give it a texture while I'm at it. Good, we're going to move on to the next step. We're going to be unifying all of them. Go to the Crown Module where it says bridging. We're going to select this one and we're going to unify. So usually I do this in steps because I don't want, we've got gaps here as well, but we can deal with them later. So this, just make sure that the union always works because sometimes you can get Boolean failures. How do I tell? I want to be able to see these little holes there that join them together like that. Here they're not joined because they're not touching. Okay, so here in transparent mode, I'll show you what I'm talking about. You'll see they will get joined here. Okay, like that. We're going to select the gum as well, the tissue. So select the teeth and the tissue and unify those. All of that is in one unit now. It's in one object, as we can see. This is where we want it to be. Actually, before we do that, we want to cut the gum short. Go to the wax up module, the lower folder. This becomes our object being cut, and this is our cutting object making the cut. Now in transparent mode, you should see that it's been cut like that. And we're going to apply that. Now bear in mind that these stumps have also been cut out. We're going to take this, Control I, hide, and we're going to look at this from here and we're going to just give it a quick smooth down. So find yourself a smoothing tool. There's always one in the model designer. If you don't know where to find one, here is a sculpt smoothing tool. Click that one, right click. Don't worry about the colors. In fact, we can delete the colors now. Delete, and click delete twice if you need to. So here, basically what I want to do is I just want to smooth that down. Make sure that we don't have too many convex and concave areas. Also the inside, it's irrelevant at this stage. I'm going to make this a little bit finer on 6. Perhaps something like that. And we can still smooth a little bit later. So this is looking really good. There's a part missing which has not been unified. That's because these aren't touching. So in order to unify this one, quite easy, tab, select, proportional editing, G key. Just going to intersect this a little bit, tab, take this one and that one, go to the Crown module. If you can't find the unification, you can always use the bull tools here, up top here, click on Union, and that should fuse them. So that one's cut. I'll take this one, and we're going to unify those like that. Okay, so the color has changed. That doesn't matter. We'll just take the color away. Okay, there we go. Now we're close to joining those to our abutment preparations. There's a piece. I'm just going to delete that. Let's join those up now. Then we're going to go to the Crown module. This becomes my antagonist. These become my teeth. And this is my working model. So we should have 3 collections now. Then we're going to just hide the antagonist, and we're going to hide the teeth, and we're going to draw our surfaces. Now this is going to take some time. As I've said, this model is not very nice, but it will give you a basic understanding how things are working. So what we'll do is we'll just mark out, well, we can't really see any margins here, but we'll just mark out the perimeter, and then I'll just pause this, and then we can continue. So I'll just make 2 so that here we'll show, we'll draw this like that, extrude it all the way like this, all the way, and then we're going to be cutting it. So you can do all of them in one go, but if you're not confident in cutting all in one go, then just create lower surface. Next, we're going to be surveying these. So shift left click all of the surfaces, go to survey, and survey them from the top. Now we're going to get a good path of insertion. We can use a slider now. This is new. I've put the slider in. I'm looking at this undercut there, so I'm going to tilt it a bit. Now this is just a temporary, and which means now that we're going to have problems here in the back here. If I look at this in transparent mode, you'll see all of this is undercut here and there. That means the end result will have an opening, but because this is a temporary, we're going to leave it like that. Else we would have to maybe cut the tooth prep, or do them single and then have this only as a bridge. So we would need to look at alternative strategies. Block out lower. This is what I've been meaning. Now if we're making support margins, we will see them jot out on the distals. So let's put 0.2 on there. You'll see the margin come out to meet the block out, and this is done for good purpose. Otherwise this crown is going to end up without a distal edge or distal wall. It'll just be completely cut away, eradicated. Alright, so we're going to take all of these. We're going to put the spacer in the zone. I'm going to just automate it. Excellent. Now I'm just going to save this project as well. I don't want to lose anything. We're going to go and do the copings. So fold all the menus up if you want to, and then select the safety zones and create coping layers. Now the default is 0.5. Well, we'll just leave it at 0.5 for now. It should be okay. And then we're going to accept this thickness, and then that's going to then make this into a blue object. Now these we can edit. So if I wanted to have a look at my teeth, yeah, I can see where these copings are, and if I want to, I can stretch them upwards. If I if I need to, but in this case it's not that particular important. As long as it's covered at 0.5 millimeters or something, that's quite good. Then what we're going to do is we're going to select them. So here we're going to just hide this one. We're going to select all of these blue transparent objects, and we're going to generate lower copings. I'm going to save my Blender file here, copings, in the same directory. This is not a hole, this is a safety zone. So if I can hide the safety zone and it'll disappear like that. Alright, now we are ready to join this to our bridge. Now let us join the bridge to the copings. Expose your teeth, your bridge. Expose your bridge here. Make sure it's in that collection. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to briefly look at the structure of the mesh. Go tab, magnet tool off, and what I'll do is I'll just move this down or in a little bit just to expose my margins a bit, because when they cut away I want to have a nice clean edge. So here, remember the magnet is off, proportional editing is on, and all I'm doing is I'm using the G key to grab. So left click, G to grab, just to expose that coping a little bit. And that's going to make sense in a few minutes. There, that should do it. Now select your copings, only your copings, and you're going to put these into the bridge collection. So if it doesn't work the first time, click again. This is something I have to look at. This makes these cutting objects on the inside. Select your bridge and you'll see what happens next. So here, join weld. It's going to cut away the inside excess and then it'll join it to the copings. Like that. Now we've got some nice margins. This is exactly what I wanted. Otherwise you may have a bit of an overlap or something. It won't be as clean as what I've got here. Go to smooth and then smooth it down where you need to and spend a bit of time smoothing it. So pretty straightforward. I feel that I want to add a little bit of a connector over here to make it nice and strong. So go exit, and we're going to put it back to create another safety zone protection. And this is because we don't want anything going in on the inside of these copings. Click on weld, scale it a bit smaller, shift D to duplicate. This is like liquid wax. And then click on join weld. And smooth one more time. So please follow this video, exactly what I've done, and you should be okay.